Pokemon Go has more daily active users than Tinder and is nearing Twitter's numbers as users found it was more enjoyable catching Pokemon over STDs. Welcome to Esports in a Nutshell. I'm Mark Register. WestBallz signs with G2 Esports. WME-IMG purchases Ultimate Fighting Championship for $4 billion. Reunited uses MasterOverwatch's rankings to recruit Eric van Hoorn, too easy. Poker player Fedor Holz wins $5 million while touting a Team Envyus jersey. Twitch opens up an Austin office with Ken Demarest leading the three-man team. Working with ESL, Mountain Dew, and ESEA create an amateur league for Call of Duty. French tournament organizer ESWC announced plans for a Clash Royale with Cheese tournament. SK Gaming defeats Team Liquid at ESL One Cologne, winning $500,000. Liquid takes home 150,000 bills to dry their tears. Nintendo announces their UK Splatoon tournament. The Great British Splat-Off will take place in London's Gfinity Arena. A Florida mother files the second class action lawsuit against Valve on behalf of her son. You know you're in trouble when your mom files a lawsuit for you. TSM's Leffen will not compete at EVO this year due to not obtaining his visa in time. Once he finishes this round of visa application, he says he'll be set for 2 years. Maybe he should change his name to Sorry, Left My Visa. The Winklevoss twins cryptocurrency company Gemini becomes a sponsor for EchoFox and hopes to integrate Bitcoins into the esports ecosystem. Sportsbet launches Australian esports streaming and betting service website Respawn, touting the fastest ESL stream in Oceania with live stats, odds, and complimentary shrimps on your Barbies. Navi creates a competition for fans to create their new mascot. Fans are submitting drawings, descriptions, and stories of their mascot creation. The deadline is July 29th. They said they want a, quote, cool mascot like a traditional sporting team that can, quote, protect our players in the battles, bringing them luck and victories, as well as please our fans with his presence. Navi McNaface is leading in the polls. G2A launches their developer support system starting July 29th, where developers can apply to receive a 10% cut off all sales, verifying sales, volume, and timing to tracking the life cycle of every key and identify illegal practices. G2A is also making new sellers verify themselves by means of a social media account and phone number. The Federal Trade Commission nails Warner Brothers for not disclosing payment to YouTube users like PewDiePie to play and review their video game Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor, giving them strict instructions of how to promote it and not say anything bad about it, all while making it look like their personal unbiased opinion. Rocket League takes a page from Valve's Counter-Strike and Dota by introducing crates containing cosmetic skins that can be unlocked with keys you can buy for real-world money, which part of the revenue will go towards tournament prize pools. They will not integrate with the Steam marketplace so they don't get tangled into the skin betting conundrum, and you can opt out of the experience by selecting the Shogun button. Conquan retires from League of Legends, saying he's quote, not good enough to play at the highest level. Conquan, those negative thoughts are your critical, negative voice saying those things, and I want to replace those negative thoughts with something positive, a daily affirmation. Now, look in the mirror. That's it. Say, hello, Conquan. I don't have to be a great video game player. I don't have to click the mouse fast or cast the spell into the Nexus, because all I have to do is be the best Conquan I can be, because I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me. Will Green at Esports Betting Report pulls a quote from Ryan Rodenberg, Associate Professor of Sports Law Analytics at FSU, saying, quote, with several acronym-friendly entities now emerging, it is reminiscent of tennis about 10 years ago when the ITF, ATP, yeah, you know me, and WTA all kept to themselves before finally putting their differences aside to create a quasi-independent integrity unit after a major gambling scandal, end quote. If that's true, we're screwed, because tennis is still fraught with match fixing, as the New York Times reported back in January. As they say, if you can't beat them, be bitter, join forces, and be useless. Valve shuts off the money valve for the Counter-Strike gambling market with a statement from Eric Johnson saying, quote, in 2011, we added a feature to Steam that enabled users to trade in-game items as a way to make it easier for people to get the items they wanted in games featuring in-game economies. Since then, a number of gambling sites started leveraging the Steam trading system, and there's been some false assumptions about our involvement with these sites. We'd like to clarify that we have no business relationships with any of these sites. We have never received any revenue from them, and Steam does not have a system for turning in-game items into real-world currency. Using the OpenID API to run a gambling business is not allowed by our API, nor our user agreements. We are going to start sending notices to these sites requesting they cease operations through Steam and further pursue the matter as necessary. Users should probably consider this information as they manage their in-game inventory and trade activity, end quote. Twitch releases a statement saying, quote, as a reminder, per Twitch's terms of service, broadcasters are not permitted to stream content that breaks the terms of service or user agreements of third parties. Valve, as such content in which the broadcaster uses or promotes services that violate Valve's stated restrictions is prohibited on Twitch, end quote. So, to all the CSGO skin betting sites, shut it down, shut it down, shut this down, shut it down, shut it down, and shut this down. And now, virtual reality, the sequel to that critic and financial flop, Your Life. Game and Overclockers UK begin installation of a virtual reality pod as well as 10 gaming rigs for their esports zones, which will start in Manchester. Select pods will allow for 18 and older players to enter their danger zone. The Void partners with Sony to create a Ghostbusters theme hyper reality at Madame Tussauds in New York. The way it works is you wear a computer vest, headset, gun, and other objects, and you walk around in a laser tag arena where you experience a real-life holodeck mapping the virtual world onto the real world. So, when you touch things and move around in the virtual world, the walls and tangible things are actually there. Six Flags attendees can now ride their VR roller coaster in 9 of their parks where the VR headset you wear is perfectly synced up with the position and movement of the coaster, eliminating any kind of motion sickness that usually occurs, creating a truly unique experience of motion and visuals. Chinese game company Hero Entertainment invests $500,000 into Virtuix, who makes the Omni Motion platform, and partnered together to produce Hero's game Crisis Action on Virtuix's Omni Motion platform, with plans to make tournaments around it. Virtuix is focusing on integrating with HTC Vive first, then expanding. Now, there is a market of 400,000 internet cafes in China that will soon be incorporating VR into their offerings. Virtuix raised $6 million in seed funding last year and is looking to raise $7 to $10 million Series A by the end of the month. What will the first hyper virtual reality esport game be? When a game developer, hyper virtual reality tech company, and tournament organizer love each other very much, they will make a new esport. The ultimate threesome, or the ultimate game changer, Valve will use their game Counter-Strike paired with their virtual reality headset, HTC Vive, and partner with The Void to create 2 real-life maps where players enter the real-life arena with the virtual world mapped out onto the real-life walls, objects, and surfaces. And ESL will produce and organize it because they are at the forefront of the tournament organizer industry and have 15 years of innovation in esports tournaments. But the baby step to get there will be Hero Entertainment's Crisis Action played using Virtuix's Omni Motion stationary treadmill, employing ESL to run their tournament. It's a lot less money, moving parts, and can start tomorrow, and it will pave the way for the more expensive spectacle of virtual reality mapped out on real-life arenas. And now, Pokemon Go, the app that lets you walk into a new augmented world and experience the real-life pain of running into things. Pokemon Go now has more active users than Tinder and soon will surpass Twitter. Singularity Hub gives us a peek at how the game will evolve by tying the weather to the game. So when there's a thunderstorm, Squirtle appears. And when you're near an active volcano, Dragonite appears. Why would you run towards an active volcano? Because you have to catch them all. How can Pokemon use their newfound success with Pokemon Go to build their esports audience? They can create Poke Centers at the Pokken tournaments like this week's Evo. Pokemon Go is the most effective way to get anyone out of their comfy couch and go to an esports event. So, incentivize players to attend by offering them ultra rare Pokemon that are created just for that event, just like CSGO gives out skins for their event. Now that's the easiest step 1. Step 2, allow the top ranked trainers to battle it out in Pokken at the arena for a special Pokemon Go division for cash prizes, because they're not going to be able to fight with at the same level with the actual pros for Pokken. Step 3, start cross promotions like what Blizzard does for Heroes of the Storm, Overwatch, and other titles, allowing you to unlock game skins and features by playing the games. Now, you're welcome, Pokemon. You can start sending me checks, or you can send me a phone with all of your Pokemon. That will suffice. And now, competitive Call of Duty. The call currently going straight to voicemail. Last week, we talked about players getting suspended and fined for publicly airing their grievances about the league, and unlike Riot, Call of Duty World League does not publicly post penalties, and Dream Team puts their Call of Duty World League spot and team up for sale. 100 Thieves drops their entire Call of Duty roster. If you happen to find them, please contact Matt Hag. TSM drops their Call of Duty division, which Andy Dean went on to say, quote, "They were unable to consistently maintain that level of play, and it's a great shame that the team finished near the bottom of the rankings in the World League Stage 2, and it's not me, it's you." Will Call of Duty survive and thrive as an esport? 2 little mice fell into a bucket of cream. The first mouse quickly gave up and drowned. The second mouse wouldn't quit. He struggled so hard that eventually he churned that cream in the butter and crawled out. Gentlemen, as of this moment, Call of Duty can be that second mouse. That's the story of most of the pillars in esports: ESL, MLG, Dota, League of Legends, and the list of drowned mice is much longer. Now, they're still working out a lot of kinks, and if they stick with it and create more stability and keep raising their annual prize pool of $3 million a year and get other tournament organizers to adopt it, they will do very well. If Activision Blizzard wants Call of Duty to thrive as an esport, they need to provide something unique that no other first-person shooter or esport community provides. And if they figure that out, then COD will truly thrive. And now Twitch's director of content marketing, Ben Goldhaber Fishstix, gives his guidance for young people wanting to enter the esports industry.
I like talking about it because I kind of have this success story of coming from just the community, straight up the community, finding my way into Twitch very, very early. And it all happened, and it's happened for a lot of my friends as well. Young people around my age have made their way into the industry, all taking a very similar path. I've seen it so many times. So it's definitely one of the things that I really like to talk about, is kind of how to get your feet wet and make your name and finally make your way into the industry. It's a long and arduous path, guys. You have to keep that in mind. You got to do it because you love esports and you want to contribute to the industry itself. But almost everybody I know who's come from the community and made a successful career for themselves has started the same way, as a volunteer, as a very passionate volunteer. You can't just cold email Twitch, or you can't just cold email MLG or ESL and say, "Hey, I'm in school right now and I really want to get into the esports industry. Like, can I have a job?" No. Almost every single person was leading a clan, or moderating a subreddit, or making YouTube videos, or producing live streams, or making graphics, or doing commentary, or doing podcasts, or maybe they're a volunteer for one of the pro gaming teams. Maybe they're a player manager, something like this. You have to start somewhere, and you have to start building yourself up on your own. So it has to come from a place of passion and dedication as well. And like I said, the way I got into the space was I was really, really interested in commentary, and doing commentary was a lot of fun for me. So I started doing that, and I helped this little organization with marketing. And then the same people that I was doing commentary with and producing these Enemy Territory Quake War streams were like, "Hey, we want to create this website, Gamescast TV." And I said, "All right, I want to be part of that. I want to help you with partnerships and marketing." And for the next 6 months, I was probably working 15, 20 plus hours a week on Gamescast TV, reaching out to every single person producing esports content at the time. And I was cold emailing them, making connections that way. But it was only because I had done that and built these connections on my own, built a reputation for myself in the industry. I knew a lot of people, they knew me as well, that I was eventually able to take those connections and make it work at Twitch. And I think one of the things I'm most proud of, or one of the things that brings me the most joy in the industry, is helping people along that path as well, myself. Most recently with Overwatch, and I just want to give a specific example to illustrate this. I was hosting a tournament in the very, very early weeks. I think it was week 3 of the closed beta. I did the Fishstix Invitational just for fun. No one else was doing it. I really wanted to host a tournament. And I suck at Photoshop. I don't know shit about graphic editing. I'm just terrible with all of those programs. So I was talking about the tournament, and somebody just cold messaged me and said, "Hey, do you want me to make I want to make you a logo." And I'm like, well, he actually said, "How can I help?" I'm like, "Well, do you do graphics?" And he said, "Yeah, I'm actually a pretty decent graphics editor." So he made me a logo within about 24 hours. It looked fantastic, right? So put that all over the stream and said, "Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it." And guess what? A couple months later, decided to do part 2. Brought him on again. This time, like, you know what? I want to pay you $100 to do the graphics. And let's make some badass overlays and some badass promotional graphics. And $100, no big deal. It's not much. But he was happy to do it. Jumped in. I gave him shout outs on stream. And then guess what? Tournament went well, got decent viewership. And the sponsors that I was working with wanted to do another tournament. Well, who are they going to go to make the graphics for the next tournament? How about the guy that they know that made fantastic graphics the time before? So guess what? He gets another paid gig. And by the way, this is Miska from one of the guys who does Overwatch Central, the YouTube channel. So just big shout out to Miska. It's a very similar story with the guy who did observing for my tournament. He's been brought on to do observing for a couple other tournaments and now is in direct contacts with Blizzard. And both of those guys just volunteered. They reached out. They were aggressive. They said, "Hey, we want to help." We brought them in, and now they're getting paid gigs week after week. So I just wanted to illustrate that story for anyone that is listening to the podcast, wondering how do I get in, and because that's also the next most common question on the esports subreddit, I think, is just how do I get into the industry. So there's my spiel on it.
It's a good spiel. To add on to that, the reason why your esports subreddit is so great is because another specific story, esportsvods.com, someone went on the subreddit and said, "Hey, I'm thinking of doing this thing. What do you think about this?" And it's someone who they created it not because they created it because they wanted to do it. Like, it's something that they had to do. And then to get the feedback has now created this product that's incredibly useful. And I think that if you approach it in a way that's problem solving, all right, what's not being done? Where are the holes? And what am I good at? And how can I fill those holes with what I do? So.
Yeah, exactly. And it's very important also that you don't want to just throw yourself at, let's just say, TSM, right? They probably have enough editors and enough video people, and maybe they need help here or there. But you should actively think about, where can I actually have a meaningful impact? Is there a niche that's not being filled? Is there, with your example for esports VODs, I have this problem where I can't find the esports VODs of the weekend. How do I solve that? I want to solve that. That's a great thing to task yourself with. And if you make a good product, you're gonna, like, that's actually genius. Like, how's no one done that before? Just a website that's just VODs every single week, updated with like the biggest tournaments. Like, I'm gonna use that site. I'm gonna look it up right now.
It's TSM versus Cloud9 in the top lane. Impact makes his way to safety under his turret, but still gets ganked by Svenskeren and Hanser. Mid lane, Bjergsen thought he was in an even fight, picking at Jensen over their fighting minions, but Meteos hits Bjergsen's right flank on his retreat. Top lane, Hanser gets ganked by Meteos and Impact. Bot lane, both teams go tit for tat, with Sneaky and Biofrost dying in the team battle. Doublelift retreating in the bot lane while Impact bounces around like a 5-year-old kid, throwing things and jumping on him. Doublelift flashes and tries netting Impact, but misses. Biofrost, like Winston from Overwatch, comes in with his shield and saves Doublelift while killing Impact. Man, what a turnaround. Sneaky makes a break for it in the bot lane, gets sideswiped by Bjergsen, flashes forward, Bjergsen flashes, snares, and takes down Sneaky. Haunter in the top lane gets once, twice, 3 times a Cloud9 gank. Jensen goes into a bad neighborhood. You know, the kind where in the bot lane where you get ganked by 4 TSM players? That neighborhood. Meteos hiding in the brush engages with Bjergsen. Meteos joins in as Bjergsen moves towards Haunter's TP and Svenskeren rushing in from the jungle. But it's too late to save his life. It's too late. It's too late. Impact stomping around like a big bad boss in the retreat. He's got some thick skin, but not 3 versus 1 skin. Impact and Meteos pick off Haunter in the river. C9 on the retreat in the mid lane. TSM on their behind and right flank, overwhelming them, taking out Smoothie and Sneaky and finish off Impact as he gets picked off from the herd. TSM on the warpath, barreling into Cloud9's base. TSM loses Bjergsen, but that's a short-lived victory for Cloud9 as Smoothie, Meteos, Impact, and Sneaky get killed as TSM cleans up Cloud9's base and also picks off Jensen on the way there. TSM wins Game 1. Game 2, Doublelift and Biofrost meet up with Sneaky and Bunny Fufu in the bot lane. TSM gets the upper hand and Cloud9 begins the retreat, but for some reason, they hover and stop the retreat as TSM's 2-man team grows into 4, and they throw their heavy hammer on Sneaky for the first blood of the game. TSM gets the swift gank on Impact in the top lane. TSM and Cloud9 have their first big team fight of the game in the mid lane, having a healthy push-pull for a bit with Haunter being the only casualty of the battle. Second team battle in the bot jungle. TSM gets the upper hand, taking out Bunny Fufu. Jensen insta-cleanses out of Svenskeren's bind, but Biofrost hits him with his ultimate, allowing TSM time to catch up and take down Jensen. Even with 7 minions on his side, Haunter loses the one-on-one with Impact in the top lane. Meteos and Bunny Fufu team up on Doublelift in the bot lane. Meteos flashes towards him on Doublelift's retreat. Biofrost tries to save his teammate, but it's in vain as Sneaky snipes him from for the kill, and Biofrost says, "Keep your hands and arms inside the carpet, we're out of here!" A big bad team fight goes down in the mid lane, lots of huffing and puffing back and forth. TSM retreats, then pushes back, then retreat again after losing Haunter. Biofrost and Svenskeren in hiding use Doublelift as bait to bring in Bunny Fufu. Bunny bites. Reinforcements come in to help. TSM backs up briefly, but really want that kill, and they get it. Bunny Fufu goes down. Biofrost sets up his escape route, but Jensen makes sure he never gets on that plane. Doublelift hits Impact's rear flank, bringing Haunter along for the ride as they flip-flop directions. Impact gets the Spirit Award for his run, but becomes a Spirit himself as he goes down. TSM on the Baron, Cloud9 getting too close for comfort as TSM redirects their efforts to take out Meteos and Bunny Fufu. TSM entering Cloud9's base from the bot lane. Cloud9 pushes back to save their inhibitor. TSM strategically falls back, then take out Meteos, Bunny Fufu, Impact, then push back into Cloud9's base, destroying Cloud9's inhibitor they work so hard to protect. Then they take out one Nexus turret, then stop. Minion wave. Goodbye minions, goodbye turret, goodbye Jensen, goodbye Sneaky, goodbye Nexus, goodnight Moon. Hello, sweet victory for TSM. Congratulations to Team Solomid.
Now, the Glock train is coming to that A-bomb side. Fur missing a couple of shots and he should be overrun, trying to reload. Knife is out, he actually gets a stab in, but Hiko and Simple
hoping that Liquid are going to get impatient. Somebody's going to have to make a play, and he will pick up the kill on Simple. But JDM and Hiko, now they know exactly where he's coming from.
Gets one more, but obviously time has run out here. Still 3 good kills coming in from Cole. I mean, Smoke goes up to try and zone out the bomb side a little bit there. JDM almost in a lot of trouble. In fact, he runs out of bullets. He's going to end up going down. Now it's a 2-on-2 and 25 seconds. Can they get that bomb plant down? No, it's going to be denied. It's all on Hiko now. 1 versus 2. Team tagged up already, down to half HP. The Deagle's out. He's almost out of bullets. And oh no, SK, they're going to win the round. Cold Syrup.
They just walked right into it, and now it's straight into drop with the bomb, and FNX in position. Taz doing him proud. There's another spray, and FNX all 3. And that's
dangerous. Now they're going to push him, but they're not realizing that he's right there. Nitro, JDM, Eager, 1 kill each. That's a really good start. Taco still in the bomb side, and the bomb, when Smoke goes down, he picks up 1 more kill, almost transfers the spray. And now FNX coming in from behind. He gets the 1, but that's all he gets.
And Fallen just moves closer and closer. Instant shot onto Elise, drops him, and now it's all JDM. And Fallen seems to have an idea of where he's playing from. Going to spot him out in the open, and it's an easy clutch. He makes it look easy. Oh, it's Taco holding on the site itself, and he's going to be able to pick up 1 kill. Still plenty of HP to work with as well. Looking for the second, and they're getting bogged down. Liquid, they need to get onto the site.
To evaporate, and Nitro goes down cold. Fallen again, Taco helping out, and now Kiko, the last man left. They do get a bit of a secondary kill in there with the Molotov, but it doesn't matter. Does miss a shot, so he's going to get another chance here. They're wall-banging him down a little bit, but there's the reply. Elige going to be going down, FNX picking up Nitro as well. It's now a 3-on-3 with 40 seconds on the clock as JDM picks up 2 big kills, a third one coming in, and now it's all on for somehow. The American sniper saves them, and that's an ace in 1 round. JDM destroying SK.
SK Gaming are looking fantastic, and they're showing no fear whatsoever. They go charging out onto the B side, and this time it's Fur. Double entry kill for him.
Think about how difficult it is to play this. He's looking for the shot. He does a little bit of damage and knows now that FNX is in the back line. He's going to smoke up on the left-hand side, and now FNX is going to go for the mind games. Rotates around. Nitro reads it, but he's still very low on health. Around the smoke, it's going to happen, and FNX will take him out. Taking it right now. Fallen charging in. They need a quick kill here, and going to be Fallen to pick up that one. Finally, Nitro in the corner, isolated, alone, and they're coming for him with knives. Oh, he gets one in return. Nitro takes down Taco, and now the Molotovs are finally gonna burn him alive, and it's up to Elige. 6 seconds here. The bomb plant, is it gonna happen? Oh, what? No, the fire! Oh, it's still gonna happen. Fur taking out Elige. That would have been the round. 1 more second. But there's no saving it. He has to go and fight, and they're getting close. Here's the spray coming through. He takes out Fur as well, but he's down to 12 health, and now it's just all in the details. Easy for SK to pick it up here. Trying to walk through the smoke, but it's just not going to happen. SK Gaming, 2nd major championship in a row. They are your winners.
Get on here. They have momentum. They have ultimates. Dragon Blade about to be unleashed. And they could be saving a lot of time on their time bank right now. Voltage on the Deadeye takes out Reinforce. Here comes the Dragon Blade in the back. Mercy under pressure. Almost falls off the ledge. A little bit of slice and dice coming in. Gets the double kill. Makes it a triple. Kib with one of his best Dragon Blades of the day. Doing work. 2 kills now for the side of Rogue. And Rogue starting to turn this in their favor. Morte is dead. There's no res. That's it. They have this point.
Yeah, now it's just about stalling out as much as you can. Get some delay going on here. Again, this is has a hero limit, so we're not going to see the 5 diva delay. The single diva comes in, though. That's Morte. Every second counts here at time bank.
Yep, any delay you can do here is good. It will burn off the time just a little bit more. I like what we're seeing here from the side of Reunited. They're throwing stuff in. They're purposely delaying here, and this is just, they want to drain as much time off of this time bank as possible. They're probably not going to retake it. Soundbear certainly assuring enough of that. And this should be it here. They will take this in just a moment, but you look at the time bank, they're almost 2 minutes ahead.
Yeah, they're running out their diva. They do actually get a kill. Winghaven takes down AKM.
So defense up one right now as they continue to defend. Voltage will take out Nox. This is very even, and here comes AKM over the top. Might drop a barrage, might not even need to. Lands the rockets there, but here's the rest. Now the barrage is going to be on the way. He has no choice. Or he's going to back off. Problem is they need a little bit extra. Unfixed on the attack visor took out 2. Here comes the barrage, but it's just way too late. Unfixed is going to take him out. Well, Voltage looking for the skulls. Takes out Wins right to the head. Down goes Winston. Res coming right back up. Got the double kill though. And Tavik is not in that res, so Voltage right now just being surgical about this push, but Morte died. Unfixed is able to get, or Nox is able to get to the back, took out Morte. There will be no res here for Reunited. Dragon Blade though, coming up from Kib, slicing and dicing, takes out Nox, looking for a little bit more. Reunited getting all the kills. He didn't get the res. Attack visor on the way from Wins. Wins trying to clean up this point. The defense of Reunited though, looking to hold firm if they can. 3 kills here from Rogue, though. Rogue pushing the issue. Reunited slowly going down. In comes Kib with the Death Blossom is taken out.
Probably one of the reasons you don't see Mei in competitive, because even in her ideal conditions, she's just outclassed by a lot of different heroes here. In competitive, when you have the focus and everything that you need to deal with a hero, she just cannot hold her own.
They just want to take this out in a hurry if they can. Both teams trading out, though, but Reunited definitely on the momentum right now. Winghaven able to get the double kill. This is working out. 4 kills right now. Make it 5. And Reunited, they're going to grab this point. They're going to add another point to their total with about a minute left on their time bank, which means they will go up to 2 minutes. Unless Rogue can stall this out.
For Rogue, they seem to like not really have an end. There's a nice entry kill though with Wins taking out his opposing number. Now he's going to attack Visor.
Here comes the tire. The tire's on the way. Over the top, moving in, takes out 2, Unfixed running them right over. This is some quality trash mouse right now, Hex. Yeah, they're moving in and looking at Fix, and Fix gets to the backline, has Barrage at the ready, takes out Tavik with 2 huge rockets, blows his ult on Unco. There will be no res. And this might be the dream right now for Reunited. If they're fully simple geometry of the shield, Reinhardt's shield will get broken. He charges into the back, eats the Hanzo, palm down he goes. 2 kills here for Reunited. They have Rogue on the ropes, they only need a few more kills. Res will come out here from Unco, bringing up the fallen heroes. A little bit of second life, but oh my goodness, simple geometry from Kib. Lands on the mark. Voltage with a little bit of fall through, and this is working very, very well for them right now. And Hex, if they get 2 more kills, that's gonna be it. They're gonna take this map. Gets the prize. There will be no res here from the defense, and this should be it for Rogue. Rogue has everything they need, or do they? They're still able to bring this back, surprisingly, but it's not enough. Tavik will clean it up. Flashbang by Voltage, but here comes the sound barrier. Tavik's moving in. The prophecy is fulfilled. Goes to the back line. It gets to reflect on the Kib. It has nothing to do with that Death Blossom, and gets Morte before he can get away. Beautiful stuff coming out from Tavik.
That's all that really matters there. Now, if Unco can stay alive a little bit longer, get his resurrection up, they're going to be in good position. Unfixed goes down 2. This fight is all Rogue.
Moving in. Here comes Dragon Blade again from Kib. Kib has been having some of the game. Slices down Wins. Will he get more? Takes out AKM. Gonna take out Nox for good measure. Oh my goodness, this has been the Kib show.
What a coming out party for him.
Oh my goodness, the Death Blossom in the back line takes out Unco. No res on the table for Rogue. Is this going to be it? Reunited with momentum. Will they do it? It is GG. And that is it. Reunited.
And Sylvanas has to be played with
Sylvanas
PO for the dream.
take the 10-10.
All right, let's do this, ladies and gentlemen. 33% to steal the big minion. And even then, there's a mulch possibly in Xixo's deck. So it's not quite...
Oh, he gets the 10-10.
By playing the 7-7, feels like suddenly the lethal may just be a little bit out of reach. If things don't
still
get
in a great
perfect.
spot.
Sure.
There we go. He's got the Wrath he can now use for 5 damage.
And a draw.
It's pretty nice. The way that works, by the way, is when Fandral is doing the both choose one, it combines the damage of the rest. So it combines the 3 and the 1. Then when spell power gets applied to it, it changes from 4 to 5. It doesn't apply spell power to each of the effects, then combine it. Combines first, then spell power second.
Right. That's a really big deal when you're doing that. I think initially a lot of people were, messing it up. If the Druid has any follow-up, which is more than likely.
Yeah, he just drew 3 cards with Nourish, so I think he's got follow-up. You just constantly, so many ways that this deck can flood the board, but he does choose to go with the Mark of Nature, so that after the Siphon Soul, I guess, he can reload with a big minion.
Fieldmaster, which, it's not a bad minion, but you've seen a lot of removal. There's a chance this guy lives. There's a chance. Anixia doesn't connect any more damage, and it looks like Swipe and Feral Rage will do short work of this, and Anixia will connect. So
that's a big dragon. When that connects to your face, you don't usually live. It's like the high main rule for Yogg Druid, right?
I mean, honestly, that was a really interesting game. I keep going back to that decision to play Reno early.
Because he had to. It wasn't a decision.
But nobody
could have forced.
There was a point where he played Senjin. If it lived, then you Reno for almost 30, and then you go for the Twisting Nether on a full board instead. But you probably died of war.
Then you're not.
A little bit of a focus slip. We'll see exactly how that works out. Looks like Shadow Flame is going to be picked up, and this is precisely what Xixo played into.
Yeah.
Really hard, and just like that, what looked like a very solid position goes and falls apart.
Xixo's ban here working out quite nicely for him,
Yeah.
The last time he banned the Warlock, now that he's gotten some more information about the Warlock, you see him just very comfortable taking this matchup on just because he knows the Warlock deck and is able to, abuse it.
You know what?
Very high level play from Xixo. Ability to. Yeah, he was thinking about not attacking the frog to limit the damage that's coming in, and
just like
tap
that.
into Grom. That's gonna close it out.
Yeah. Oh, man. Good.
That's a good draw.
That's a very good draw there from Xieshuai.
Shabby.
Yeah, and Xieshuai has a ton of them. It feels like your Drake replenishing the hand here on the back. Oh my god!
Wow.
There's a coffin with Xixo's name on it. It just came up.
Yeah, for real. Tons of gas left in the tank.
Oh,
and
6-6
here
with
comes
the 4-6
all of
charge. What's the form? Lion form or war bear form?
We'll go with war bear form. That sounds more badass.
I don't even know what it is. It's like a wolf. So wait, it's bear form or cat form?
Just soothing.
Dude, Rafe and Idol off of Mantle is pretty good.
Time to get a nourish off of it, right? Oh, he goes from minion, gets a dark iron.
Wait, you got offered 2 Dark Iron Dwarfs, you had a Black Knight. Oh, Wisps.
There we go. That's
now
a good
we're
one.
talking, ladies and gents, and down goes Xixo. And Xieshuai wins this one, friend.
This guy
Bad.
before-
He's vomiting all this hand.
Before turn 6, yeah.
So we're talking 2 damage here, an extra.
Coin Frostbolt face, I think every time here.
Yeah,
That's
every
so much damage. Holy smokes.
That Mana Worm is growing to unbelievable sizes.
Talk about explosive. And Xieshuai thought he was going to live till Mountain Giant this time. If Mountain Giant comes down, he's just dead on board.
Yeah, I mean, even if you pick up Immortal Coral to go with Demon Wrath.
Even if he had Hellfire, he's dead on board.
Yeah, this is essentially.
He needs Reno, and it needs to cost 4.
And he needs his spell opponent to have nothing in hand with.
Holy smokes.
I mean, that's it. Just like turn 4 kill.
Turn 4 overkill by 1 billion. Look at this.
This is unbelievable.
Yeah, he's got, 6 overkill on turn 4.
This is 33%. And set up more totems.
There it
Oh
is.
my goodness.
Absolutely huge. They're able to take out a lot of the RNG by taking an RNG.
Well, it still has the high rolls anyway.
Yeah, it still had the high rolls.
You got 4-2. And the opponent has to attack it anyway.
But then, what trades do you make to try and make sure that, you're not going to die?
I might surrender some of the health on my.
But you need to make sure you send enough damage face that you're setting up lethal. So, can you afford to give away? You can afford to give away pretty much all of your minions because you have double Valiant.
I was gonna say, yeah,
right?
they don't matter. You just get them back. Right
Yeah.
away. The sequencing was, by the way, pretty important. It's not a big deal because Xixo would have never missed it. But like, you can't trade first, otherwise.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to make sure that your minions. You have to buff the totems and then.
Yeah, I think he's successfully set up lethal for the following turn. So, aside from a storm from Xieshuai off the top there, Xieshuai is out of luck for this game. So
And Navi
Xixo is taking it.
Is taking the tournament, the first match of the event.
Should be all right, I guess, depending on how much King Air wants.
Oh, what a play from Koikva. He snipes the bounty rune with a tornado. That is actually huge. We've seen with an Alchemist pick, those early bounty runes make such a big difference, and deny him like that does slow his roll. They are going to get a kill on Koikva, it looks like. The kill will go to Rubik after he eats the fairy fire. But now the cavalry has arrived. Double damage rune up on Yapzor, has the stun to interrupt the TP, and King R in a lot of trouble. Nice heal from Cinderin, sets it up. They make rolling about. Cinderin caught by an X. Gonna get pulled back. Pushka sets this kill up. No shallow grave. Still on cooldown. Not enough mana anyhow. Well, but still a noble effort to try and slow down the Alpharans. Down bottom, initiated on. Chessie gets off the Omni Slash. It's almost enough damage. The Blade Fury's there to finish him off. Now Pushka thinking about an X, but Chessie's Blade Fury will last long enough to get out. But it's just a quick pick on the Timbersaw. Nice setup there for Escape.
Yeah, that was really nicely done. And now right on the Maposhka again. Mango and Chessie.
Nice heal bomb from Cinderin. Close.
Ramsey's
He
on the
actually
Yapzor.
goes in too deep. Another stun. Is he going to bait Ramsey's out here? Chessie still doesn't have the Omni Slash. He needs a few more charges on that stick. He's just going to spin instead. Ramsey's will be able to Timber Chain away. Afterlife now rotates in. And Chessie could be in trouble. More supports rotating. Crush connect. He's already got the amp damage on Chakram, bringing him low. Dazzle does manage to kill the Kunkka off to the side, but the Juggernaut will fall. Now the Koikva joining the fray, goes in onto Ramses, gets the kill. EMP connects onto Scandal, but Koikva could be in a world of hurt, trying to juke, jive, and dip. Slithering Crush will connect, though, and the Koikster will fall. Armlet, I would agree, but he's still vulnerable. Now he's getting close to this relic, and if this keeps up, he's going to have a super fast Radiance. Now Cinderin caught up top. King R sets it up. Maposhka with the X-Torrent follow-up. The Shadow Priest falls. They are in control of this series, and they are in control of this game. We'll see if Escape can win a fight and maybe shift those odds around a bit. Now Scandal goes in on the Koikva. EMP not going to do enough. Rubik able to secure the kill. Is that a stolen heal? It sure is. He's got Shadow Wave. That's a great spell to have. Huge Magnetize from Yapzor. Cinder buys him the time to keep it alive. Kezu follows up with a massive ult. They shut down 3. Soon to be 4 as Maposhka dies. You kill up top. So Alchemist actually going to get initiated on in the real game. Omni Slash will be used. That'll just be a quick pickoff. Odd positioning for Empire. They are going to get initiated on. It's Ramses that gets caught first. Kezu thinking about that ultimate, but doesn't channel it. It's just a pump fake. Ramses getting low. He'll actually be the first to die. Koikva getting credit for that kill. Everyone else on Empire cannot find space to farm at all. Chessie gets initiated on here in the mid. Oh boy. He gets a grave. He might actually be able to live. Hezu nearby. He eats some stick charges. They're going to keep him alive. It's a great play from Synderen. The Shadow Priest coming in handy as now Keizu caught by a bash. He gets caught by a torrent as well. That's just a little bit unlucky. He was about to burrow strike away. Now Yapzor knocks back Scandal. Are they going to get more here? Is it a turn the other way? Now up on the Alchemist so he can scout and get harassed. It's actually pretty scary. In goes Chesty. He'll start off this fight. Maposhka, the one that gets initiated on. Out comes the ultimate from the Earth Spirit. Who's actually going to get the first kill? It's the StarLadder that falls. They lose their down low right away. He gets a grave off onto Kezhu, but it's Empire that are taking the fight. Chelsea's ult just didn't do enough damage. His teammates have gone down. It's a 2-for-2. The Magnetize doing so much work, but they will lose the Rubik. Scandal still alive, channeling a stun, will go in to finish off the jug. Now Koikla does have it invoked, gets a ghost walk. They already been into the pit. Right now Empire, they're on their way in. They've smoked up. Ramses goes charging on forward. Chakra to get it started. Synderen with good positioning outside the pit. Should be able to get off a decent shallow grave. He does save Chesty, but Koikla falls almost immediately. Now Synderen gets scouted out. Afterlife goes in hard. The Juggernaut not going to survive long enough to get off his ult. Crush will be off the mark. Sin surviving for now, but he's on the run and will be brought down by Scandal. So feeling pretty safe. Oh, what an X on Chesty. He's coming in for the Omni Slash. They slow him down. He gets stunned up. He'll get brought down before he can Omni Slash. Oh, that poor Juggernaut. Now Yapzor trying to rolling boulder away, but not going to get out. Scandal intercepts it. Nice stun from Kezhu, but they're just slowing him down. It seems like Scandal is unfuelable right now. He is a complete raid boss, 26k net worth. Chesty in trouble again. He's fought back. He gets shallow grave this time. Just use the Omni Slash. Just use it. He gets it off. Ping R actually dies. It's a decent setup on the Ramses as well, but now the stun from Alf, bringing him low. Rubik will die. He buys back. Can he get back into the fray, though? He TPs the tier 2 tower. It's going to be a long... Well, they're going to finish off the tier 4 towers, and that's it. Quick was going to call it. Good game, well played. That will knock Escape Gaming down to the lower bracket of the global trend.
It's unbelievable.
Oh, it's a big combo, no clash.
Scoop.
Wow.
Bam.
And all that damage. 43 into a try and rush here.
Yep. Luckily, he didn't get a bar. Oh, good down two.
All right, Nicolas with more meter. He has max scratches.
Oh, no way, he had Clash.
Oh my god, this is tough for 16 bit. Nicolas just got a bar. It's going to be like 10% to 25% right now.
Oh my god!
The trait.
Oh! Stole it! Damn, that's heartbreaking.
Heartbreaker.
Run.
Oh god. Oh god. Oh my god, Nicolas!
Oh, come on! Oh.
Holy shit.
That was fun.
Oh my god, what a dick.
Oh my lord! That was nice.
Alright.
Oh my god, he can't jump that! He can't jump high enough. Oh my god!
Oh, the wires are so broke!
I need to go take a shower after that combo.
Alright, super is in play. This is an interesting situation. You gotta be careful.
PJ is on his last leg. He has super. It could kill.
Oh! It combos! Down one super.
No, stay back.
Yeah, Jim's gonna.
Oh my god! Oh my god, Jim!
Alright,
Jim!
what?
Ah!
Oh, here we go!
Ah!
Oh, Jim! Eyes on Jim! Eyes on Jim!
Oh!
Yeah,